Texas Republicans just dropped their new map online for mid-cycle redistricting, and it is a doozy of a gerrymander that looks like it could help Texas Republicans pick up 5 seats in the 2026 midterms. I'm going to look area by area and tell you what is changing. First, let's take a look at the current Texas map. So you can see here, this is the result after the 2024 election. We have 2 Democrats in the Rio Grande Valley, 1 in El Paso. We have 3 Democrats in Austin and San Antonio, 3 Democrats in Dallas and Fort Worth, and then 4 Democrats in Houston. So I'm going to show you each area in detail and then show you the new map so you can understand what is changing. Let's first take a look at the current situation in Austin and San Antonio. When you are gerrymandering, you have 2 options, packing and cracking. Packing is when you take your opponent's voters and put them all into one district. So you draw one very, very blue district, in this case, with 90+% Democrats. And they did that in San Antonio, in Austin, and then they actually drew one connecting them both in this crazy snake gerrymander that goes across the state, connecting both cities. And then they also have this other district they packed with Democrats in the Rio Grande Valley, which they also drew up into San Antonio. They then crack the rest of the voters into surrounding rural districts. This new map does this at an even more extreme level. So you can see here they go from having 3 districts between Austin and San Antonio to just having 2. They also are relying on the fact that Latinos in the Rio Grande Valley along the Mexican border have swung very far to the right, and we saw that in the 2024 election. So they are eliminating the 2 Democrats along the Rio Grande Valley by redrawing those districts to be even more conservative, and they have packed the rest of the Democrats into a very urban San Antonio and Austin district. To pack voters into one Austin district, which you can see here is Travis County's 37th district, they had to crack the rest of Travis County into many, many other Republican districts. So you can see here they drew the gray district, the green district, the yellow district, the purple district, the blue district, and the red district all into the Austin area to divide Democratic voters, and then they pack the rest into the 37th. So the packing and cracking has become even more extreme in this map. Now we can see the current situation in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This was already a crazy gerrymander. So you can see they have one snaking district that connects Fort Worth, which is on the left, in Tarrant County, into Dallas County on the right, and then they have the one very blue district at the bottom, and then the blue district on the right. So 3 districts total. They've taken these 3 and reduced them to 2, again by doing extreme packing and cracking. You can see here in this colored map, 33 and 30 are the new Democratic extremely blue districts, and then they have drawn in many rural connecting districts that are eating up a little bit of Dallas and Tarrant County. So you can see here the gray district is snaking in to the center of Fort Worth, as well as the yellow District 12. District 6 is snaking into Dallas County. District 5 is snaking into Dallas County. This orange district on the right is snaking into Dallas County, and they've even cracked the suburban areas around Dallas, which are traditionally very Republican, but have been shifting left into many different districts. So you can see the blue district takes parts of Collin, as well as the red number 4, and the green district takes part of Denton. So you can see here they are cracking Dallas and Tarrant County into many districts while drawing 2 very blue districts, 30 and 33. In Houston, again, we are getting taken for a wild ride. So this is the current situation. Houston is in Harris County. They have 4 blue districts, you can see here, already with some insane gerrymandered shapes. In this new map, they are cutting the 4 blue districts down to 3, which I know are very hard to see in this version, so I will switch to the colored maps. And you can see here, the lines are a little cuckoo. We got 18, we got 7, we got 29. Those are the new blue districts. 9 is the likely Republican district we saw, and then 2, 38, 22, 8 are all taking a piece of Harris County. Even this district on the right, which I believe is 30, is taking a piece of Harris County. So they are packing Democrats down to now 3 districts and cracking the rest of Harris County and surrounding now bluer suburban areas across many, many, many districts and connecting them with more Republican rural areas of Texas. Can Texas Democrats actually stop this map? The first option is to flee the state. So if Texas Democratic lawmakers fled the state, they could deny the legislature a quorum, so it could not meet. This means they would have to hide in other states, face the possibility of arrest and fines for about a year. This would also prevent Texas from passing any new laws, and the legislature could not meet. So I don't know how realistic this is. Democrats did try this way, way back in 2003 to not some great success, as they eventually did come back. So they would have to halt all lawmaking in Texas to stop this map. The second option is to, of course, sue, which I'm sure Democrats will do if this map goes into effect. However, suing to stop past Texas gerrymanders has not been successful. So maybe on Voting Rights Act grounds, they are going to try to sue on this one, but I don't know how successful that would be, as I believe this map actually creates one new Latino majority district in Texas, I just read, so they actually might have a case that this map doesn't violate the Voting Rights Act. I'm not sure if it gets rid of a majority black district. I don't think so, but I'll have to read more analysis on that. Now, how close are we to a Gerrymander in Texas? So how close are the closest pink seats on that map? Well, all of them have Trump at least winning by 10. So you can see here, this is from Dave's Redistricting, which is the best Reddit thread on redistricting. You can see here the closest light pink district is 34, where Trump won 54 to 44. Then we got 54-44, 54-44, 56-41, and then so on. So you can see here there are a few districts within 10 points. Maybe a strong Democratic candidate could win those in a strong year. We don't know how permanent this shift along the Rio Grande Valley is going to be. Are those people who came out to vote for Trump not going to vote in these midterms, not going to vote in the future? So we don't know how elastic those voters are along the Rio Grande Valley. It is a very low turnout area where Trump seemed to have brought new voters into the fold. So TBD, it doesn't look like Democrats have great chance in some of the Houston, Dallas areas. You can see here the best Houston area is 57-41 Trump, and the best Dallas areas are 57-41 and 57.7 to 40. So that would require like a 17 to 20 point swing for Democrats to take those seats. So to me, this seems like a pretty strong gerrymander by Republicans. It would be hard for Democrats to not lose at least 3 seats. Maybe they have a shot at 2 in the Rio Grande Valley with strong incumbents. So maybe 3 seats would be the best case for Democrats in terms of losing total number of seats here. Can California and New York respond? Again, I cover those in past videos. It's going to be very hard. California needs to pass and have a special election and pass a voter referendum to overrule the Independent Redistricting Commission. New York is even harder to try to pass new maps because in the past, New York courts have overruled Democratic gerrymanders as illegal. So we'll see what happens, but so far this map looks pretty terrible for Democrats.